So continuation, yeah, continuation. Like yesterday, we have seen about some EC2 instances and their types and the business use case and some of examples in the real world, right? So let's get start with a network first. Okay. So everything that the any cloud you can take it is an Azure or it is a GCP or it is an AWS. So all these are working over the cloud default network. So that is we call it as VPC in the AWS. So what is mean by a VPC? Virtual private network. Okay. So this network is an isolated network. Okay. It is an isolated network. Isolated network means this is designed and isolated by using an IP address. First thing, an IP address. So how a network can be logically created and logically named it as an isolated one. So how we can define the range? So through an IP address only. And here we need to follow subnet mask concept. So what does mean by subnet mask concept or a net mask concept or a CIDR uh, uh, topic? Like CIDR means classless interdomain routing. Let's discuss that one. Is it for you, Vidit, or to everyone? Is my voice clear?
It's audible.
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay, okay. I think Vidit, can you check your speaker? You update your speaker, or like, otherwise, if you're using any headset, just unplug and plug in. So first thing is we need to know about 5 key components. So what are those 5 key components inside the VPC? So there will be a first subnets. Okay. And we will be having route tables. And we will be having internet gateway. And we'll be having security. Okay. So these are the 5 key components that every cloud is needed. So without this, the network will not work. Even you can take it as a data center or it is a cloud, it will not work. The application, this board even, it is loading because by working these 5 key components. Even I'm able to open this console. So this is also possible because of this 5 key components. So we should know about these things. Okay. So all these are by default over the AWS network first. See, all these are into your region. There is an interview question. Region is inside the VPC or VPC is inside the region. See, VPC is inside the region. Okay. Here it is region. Which region we are in? Mumbai region. So inside the Mumbai region, we'll create a VPC. For Mumbai region, so there will be a default VPC. For Mumbai region, there will be a default subnets. For Mumbai region, there will be a default route table. There will be a default internet gateway. There will be a default security group. So these 5 key components are mandatory to load even my console from the Mumbai region. If you by mistakenly deleted the default internet gateway, so you need to create another one actually. Otherwise, some of the functionalities will not works for you whenever you're doing practical or the cloud. Okay. You shouldn't delete the default VPC. If you delete the default VPC, Previously, we used it to raise a request to the AWS cloud support, but now if you delete, you have to create another one and then only you can perform in another VPC. So there will be some default functionalities will not work over your console if you delete this VPC. So we shouldn't touch the default VPC. It is mandatory. We need to keep in our mind that we should not delete the default network things in the AWS. My first question is why I need to learn about this VPC. First of all, why can't I create a server? Yes, yesterday I have created a server. Then what is the need of this VPC? Okay, what is the need of this VPC? I have an account, AWS service account. Okay, AWS service account. So in this account, I would like to develop my application. It's not working. Yeah, application. Okay. So this application I want to build in different phase. Okay. And I have a multiple developers, cloud operated teams. So I want to divide them in one single account. I would like to develop multiple applications. What if I want to develop multiple applications? So I need to create separate environments for this, right? I need to create a separate environment for this. To create a separate environment, you need some isolated network which is securely connect over your AWS account. It is same like your data center. Okay, so that's why you're creating one isolated network. So this is one VPC and this is another VPC and this is another VPC. So this is not getting connected with this and this is will not get connected with this. So these three are isolated. What if I want to connect these three? Yes, there is an additional configuration you can do to connect these three. So before this, let's understand how it is an isolated, how it is secure. First thing. So everything I cannot run over the default VPC in the AWS account. So whatever the project you are developing, so you cannot run everything over the default VPC. So you should have create an isolated environments over the AWS account for your different phases of your application development and operation. First, let's understand how it can be orchestrated and architected. Okay. So let me open tool so that it will be very easy to understand. Okay. So first thing, region. So this is our region. So let me remove this. Yeah. So this is Mumbai region, let's say. I'm just keeping text here. So in this Mumbai region, I have to go with VPC. So this is my VPC. Okay. So this VPC will be having one CIDR. CIDR is nothing but classless inter-domain routing, CIDR. What is it? So this is a set of IP pool. We are defining this network. Okay. So this network we are defining with the CIDR. So what will be my CIDR? In our starting class, we have discussed some IP address concept, right? Now I'm taking 10.10.0.0/16. So this is my IP address. So let me increase the font. Okay. So this is my IP address. 10.10.0.0/16. So this is my VPC. So inside this VPC, there will be a subnetworks. Okay. There will be a subnetworks, public and private. There will be two types of subnetworks. So let's take this one. So this is my subnetwork. So this subnetwork also have one IP address, CIDR again. Okay. So here inside the VPC, there will be a subnet. So that means there will be a one. VPC is a parent and subnet is a child inside. Okay. So like that, you can create as many as subnets when number of IP addresses will be available in the pool. Now I cannot put /16 here. I should put /24. Okay. Which is comes under the 16. If you're not attended the class of IP address, so please go and check it in the YouTube channel so that it will be very easy. No worries, I'll also explain one more time now. So this is /24 and /16. So 16 is nothing but it is the range of the network. So we are defining range of the network. Now here 4 octets are there. So let me take my pen and then I'll tell you about the octets. So here you can see, so this is my parent. Okay. Now what I'm telling, this is the network 10.10.0.0 private network. 1010 is a private IP address. /16, the range of the network. The range of the network. This is the range of the network. So that means how many IP addresses can be? So here 65,536 IP addresses can be available. And accordingly, you can create subnets. Now, what I'm telling, 1010 will be constant. These 2 zeros will be changed. So as many as you can change here, which can fill up to 65,536 IP addresses. Okay. Now I kept 1. Okay. 1010 will be always a constant because you're taking under this. So how you can identify this is a subnet of this parent only with this 1010. 1010 1.0/24. So that means this is the range. 254 IP addresses will be available here. If you take something 25, then there will be some number. Okay. And if you're taking like 28, so there will be some number. So like this, there will be a set of IP addresses will be defined in this range of when whatever the number you're defining after slash. So this is CIDR concept. So CIDR concept, subnet concept, wildcard concept or net mask concept, are same. Same concept, only multiple names. But in general, in the cloud, we call it as CIDR. Wherever you go, the CIDR you will see in the cloud. Simple thing to understand this one. So there is a 192.168.1.0. Okay. 192.168.1.0 IP address is there. So this IP address is a network IP address. Always remember, whenever you see 0, that means network IP address. So this is the main gate to enter into the home. Okay. 192.168.1 is a home and 0 is an entry gate. Okay. So these all are constant. Now 192.168.1.1 is a valid IP address. 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6 and 1.254. When you define it as a /24. For example, when you define /28, then there will be only 14 IP addresses, for example. Then up to 1.14 you can use. So that means you are defining number of IPs by deciding this range. So it is like some example I have used in the previous class. So let's say you are attending your friend's birthday and there will be a cake. Okay. So this is a cake. So this cake range is /24 or a 22 or a 23. Okay. If according to this range only you can cut the pieces, right? So there will be 8 pieces, for example. That means 8 pieces are available. If you increase this size, more pieces you can cut. If you decrease this size, some less pieces you can cut. So this cake is represent this constant octets 192, 168, 1.0. The range, whatever you're defining, the outer circle, the number of pieces you can cut inside. This is the way the network is working. Now we are defining the network like this. Okay. So here there is a VPC under I created one subnet. Okay. So inside this subnet, there will be a availability zones. Availability zones. So these are availability zones. So this is my first zone, which is AP South 1A. And I'll be having one more zone and I will be having one more zone. These are the actual data centers. So this is 1C and this is 1B. These are actual data center. It represents actual data center. These are availability zones. Actually, these are the physical things, availability zones. This CIDR and VPC are logical. There is no physical machine for it. How does it need to understand? Because it is creating over the number of servers over these 3 availability zones. So while you're creating this subnet, you can take 2 availability zones you want to create, or you can select 3 availability zones if you want to create. So how much network you want to use with 2 availability zones you can create, or a 3 availability zones you can create. Now in this subnet, I used 3 availability zones, right? I need a EC2 instance here. So EC2 instance is nothing but our server. Let me run the EC2 instance here. Simple of EC2 instance is this one. In one of the availability zone, I'm taking this EC2 instance. Okay, here. So let me keep it here. So this is my EC2 instance. EC2 instance in one availability zone. Now to connect this one, actually we need other components like security group. We have security group that acts virtual firewall before your EC2 server. Okay. And now we need one more thing, that is route table and internet gateway. Internet gateway. Okay. So internet gateway. And we need a route table. We need a route table. So now here, I'll just give the connectivities. It will go and communicate with my route table, and my internet gateway will connect with my VPC. So here I can call it as IGW. So it will be having 0.0.0./0. So this is anywhere IP address, and this route table will go and connect with my subnet. Okay, subnet. So here already network security group is already defined here, so that it will be used to forward the traffic here. Okay, will be used forward the traffic to this web. Now there is a user outside. The user is accessing something over the web, a web browser. Or the web browser like www.something.com, the DNS. So when you are searching something at your mobile, and that is going to first come to your internet gateway, because the request, the DNS resolution with TLD, top level domain, we discussed, right? With the TLD, top level domain, it is trying to find this server main IP address. So when the TLD will forward the request, so first it will reach to the internet gateway. So this internet gateway is responsible for incoming access to your VPC network. Why? VPC network is in the private network. If you see 10.10.0.0/16, so this is a private IP address. We already discussed, right? It is a private IP address. Subnet also private. But there is a server. Inside the server, there is an application running, but it is having the public IP address. To get access, because I am securing my server and application in private network. Okay. But I want to expose application. I want to secure the server, but I want to expose the application. So this is the configurations that you need to do. Internet gateway will make a connectivity, and it establishes the connection between outside internet to your VPC network. And it will look for the VPC that I am working for this VPC. Then the request will forward. The request will forward to the route table. What this route table will do? Route table is having the information destination and source. Okay. So what is the destination? So here, this is the destination. So this subnet IP address, this route table should have it. So when the request comes, the request route table will verify, hey, it is looking for one of the IP address. Does it in my location destination or not? So if it is finding that, then it will forward to the subnet, and inside the subnet there will be a security group. What this security group will see? This security group will look for your type of communication that you are trying through the HTTPS or HTTP or SSH. on what mode you are trying. If that protocol is defined here, then it will be moved towards your instance. And then instance, whatever the application it is serving, it will be opened in the reverse to you. So this is how it will work. The network we are going to be defined like this over the cloud. Okay. To understand in a very layman terms, I'll just tell you one thing. Here, for an example, you want to buy a flat, okay, like your home in one gated community, for an example. So the land is not yours, right? Let me draw a building here. This land is not yours, right? This building is not yours. The floor is not yours. But in the floor, there will be one flat that is yours. You are the owner of that, right? Same way here. So here, you are utilizing this region. There is a VPC, okay? So there is a VPC and there is a subnet. There's a floor. Inside there is a server, okay? So here you have your application, for example, inside your flat, okay? So there will be a gate, right? Somebody wants to attend, come to you. What you'll do? You're a gate. So this gate is internet gateway. And once the person will come, then you need to come to this floor. So there will be a lift. The lift is nothing but this route table. And while you are entering into your house, so you will be having one dog here. The dog is nothing but security group. The dog will only allow the persons who know, right? So that is security group. So this is how this VPC network works in every cloud. Okay, and especially at the AWS. So this is the configuration. This is how we are going to be configured. So I am taking one server over the one availability zone. Okay, so we are going to take multiple servers in different availability zones for high availability. We call it as HA, high availability. So here we have two terms. One is public subnet and one is private subnet. What does mean by public subnet and private subnet? We'll discuss in coming class. But now let me execute this if you all clear on this diagram. Anyone having any question? No doubts. Shall I go for execution?
Like, what about network control list, NACLs, network access control list? Like, I believe they will be sitting before the subnet, right?
Yeah, so here you can apply NACL where let me show you. So here you can apply NACL as a stateless things. Why? Why first of all I'm creating a VPC? Why can't I go with the default? So that is my answer to use the NACL. See, if I go with the default VPC, when my account is created, it will be created. And there is no security. There is no lockdown sensitive traffic ports. That means I cannot customize that over the default one. So I cannot always go with all the applications to be developed over the default because I can't protect. So to avoid that, I need to create my own VPC. Yes, I'm creating my own VPC because I would like to customize the whatever the protocols and port numbers I want to allow and the way of communication. In the way of communication, there are two types of ways. One is stateful and one is stateless. Stateful in the sense, the request is coming through your security group. Yes, you are allowed. That means you can be also exit. So this is stateful. Now here at the NACL, so you are applying NACL at subnet level as a stateless. That means some requests that can be come inside, but the data cannot be go outside. This restriction you can write with the NACL. So particular domain you want to be accessed, yes, you can write that. From the particular IP section you want to access, yes, you can write that. So this is NACL, that stateless communication you can configure, but that is not possible with the security group. At security group, there will be a one option possible, but that is also inbound or outbound can be accessed. That is custom range. We have three types of. Okay. So custom range. So I'll tell you about this custom range also. So custom range in the sense, hey, I have this AWS account and you are an employee working at your home and also working at the office. When you connect your laptop to an office IP address like a network, then only you can access this instance. That I can give in this custom range. If you are out of from the office network, you're trying to do, no, you cannot connect. So like this custom range configurations also, we can do it with specific network defined. Clear?
Yes.
I'll just go quickly to a cloud and you need to search VPC here. So this is VPC, okay. Virtual private cloud. So this is a dashboard. In the left side blade, if you see, there is a US VPC. Click on this. See, there is a one default VPC is already there. Just name it as default. So that you can easily able to identify. And here you can see default VPC. Yes. Now I would like to create my VPC first. Here you can go and create VPC. There are two options. You want to create each component manually. Yes, you can create. Okay. Or you want to create an automated process, VPC and more. When you click on VPC and more, right side will show you resource map. And here you want to give a project name. Let's say test demo project. Okay. Test demo VPC. Test demo project. And I would like to keep the IP address like as per my diagram. So 10.10.0.0/16. How many IP addresses? 65,536 IPs are available. So that means you can keep a bunch of IP addresses like 1,000 IP addresses into the one subnet, like 4,000 IP addresses into one subnet, and 6,000 IP addresses into the one subnet. So like that, you can create multiple subnets. Now here, if you come down, number of availability zones that you want to build this subnet on how many availability zones you want to create. You want to take 3 availability zones. See, you want to take 3 availability zones, 1A, 1B, 1C, 1A, AP South 1A, 1B, and 1C, or you want to take only one, is your wish. So right now I'm going with the 1 and customize AZ. Yes. 1A, I'm taking subnet, public subnet and private subnet. So right now I don't want to take any private subnet. I'm selecting 0. So here number of public subnet as 1. Okay. And come down. Yeah. So there will be a, yes. customize subnet CIDR blocks. Here, it is automatically populated from the AWS automation. But actually, I was not drawn like this, right? What is my requirement here? So 10.10.0.0/16. Under that, I want to use this subnet 10.10.1.0/24. So accordingly, I'll go here 10.10.1/24. See, 256 IP address. You need to eliminate two IP addresses. One is network IP address, one is broadcast IP address. 254 IP addresses are valid, useful IP addresses. Okay. And NAT gateway. We had some discussion over the NAT gateway in our previous classes, but don't worry, that we are going to cover in the next class of public and private subnet class. Okay. Now, I don't want any VPC endpoint, and just check these things and create VPC. So it is automatically will create one VPC for you, subnet for you, and also route table for you. So before that, I would like to duplicate and show you the default things. Now I'm going to your VPCs. Here you can see there's a one default VPC and subnets are 3 default subnets are available. Okay, you can see default subnets are SSS, and there will be a default route table also. You can see. So this is default route table, and there will be a default internet gateway. You can see default internet gateway. When I go and create for my project, I need extra resources tagging with my project name. View VPC. It's created automatically. So this is your resource map. You can see VPC, subnet 1, route table, and the network connection, which is nothing but IGW internet gateway. I'll just go to your VPC. Hey, my VPC is got created. What is the IP address? 10.10.0.0/16. Subnets, refresh. Yes, you got one subnet which you have created 10.10.1.0/24. Route table, yes, one is got created for your project. So which is no, okay, you can see. And internet gateway, you can see it is created and attached with my VPC. Now I would like to create my EC2 instance. So what are all we created? So we created VPC, yes, tick mark, subnet we created, internet gateway we created, and route table also we created. Only we left with security group and EC2 instance we left, right? So let's go and create that one as well. Let me go to EC2 instance here. Click on instances running. Now launch instance. Just check it as web server. Okay. We know that it is t2.micro and we know this. And here is the configuration. At network settings, edit. I don't want to use my default, right? So I would like to use my VPC. So automatically your subnet got selected. So here to expose my application, I need public IP address. That's why you need to enable it. If you disable it, you cannot able to connect. Okay. So it's completely into the private network. So create security group. Yes, I'm creating security group. I'm just calling it as web. Description also web. Here you can see SSH. So you have all the protocols here. Select all traffic. You want to connect source type. You want to connect from custom range, CIDR range, CIDR range. Or you would like to connect from your single IP address. or you want to connect from anywhere. So give it as anywhere and just leave it this default configuration. And here it is, number of instances 1, launch instance. View all instances. Now my server is ready. I would like to connect again. Okay, I'll just go connect, copy, already open terminal. Just I would like to run it here. Yes, I have connected. You can see I have connected to my server, right? For a test connectivity, I just want to install some index.html.
So every time we have to select VPC and more option only, not VPC.
Yes, only VPC, it will only create the VPC. You have to create subnet manually. You have to create internet gateway manually. You have to create route table manually, and then you have to attach manually.
So in projects we do VPC and more.
Now it is your wish. Do you want to go with VPC and more? You want to go with VPC only as per your comfortability. Why this option AWS is still keeping that means previously manual configuration thing is there. People are habituated still to that point. Now VPC more also there, and coming it will be removed actually. But in some cases VPC and more is created. Now you want to create an extra additional subnet. VPC IP address is /16, and here you can create 2 more extra subnets, and then you can add manual. So for that manual operation, the option is given by the AWS. Okay. So we use both. We use both at the projects. Just go and I'll just type something. So here, what I need to check, I would like to check with my public IP. Okay, so this is my public IP. If I'll come and just give an IP address so that it should be redirects to me this one. Okay, now what I would like to check, yesterday and today, what is the difference? Today it is on my own network. It is something like my own data center over the cloud. Okay, it is my responsibility that whatever the configuration I have done. Let's see if you remove this connection, or if you remove this connection, will your application can access over the web. Okay, now I'm going one of this connection and I'm removing this. I'll just go here. I'm going towards route table, and this is my route table. Here there's an option called routes, and you can see this is internet gateway. It attached. You can see internet gateway IGW. Edit routes. This is attached internet gateway. Remove it. Save it. Let me come here. Refresh. it is not getting accessed over the web because these connectivities are matter. So whatever you're building your own network over the AWS cloud, so that is mandatorily needed internet gateway. Internet gateway. Over Azure, there will be a resource group. There will be a VNet. For that resource group, by default, there will be a public IP will be created. With that, it can be accessed. Okay, over the GCP also, it is same. Now, if I give, see, still it is running. I'll just stop this one. I'll go back again. I'll do the attachment. Okay, edit route tables, add route 000 and attach internet gateway. Which one? This is my internet gateway, right? Save it. And here I'll just do a refresh. See, automatically it came. So this is how your projects will be configured. So this is a basic step that we have done today. But this is the basic step which is starts to configure for every project. Every project will use the VPC. That VPC will be configured like this. Okay. So whenever we moving towards the Terraform, it is mandatory that we know about the network. See, Terraform is usually used to create the resources over the cloud. So whatever you are creating over the cloud, so that should be tagged with the VPC. That is under the VPC. Okay. This main thing, network is the main thing over the cloud. Now in this VPC, I can create number of servers. Okay, so there will be a normal servers, there will be a Fargate servers, there will be EKS servers. Okay, so all these servers can be listed here in the each instance section. Is it clear? So you can find notes at classroom. Okay, so there will be notes already, steps. You can go and check it and you can configure. So do this practice so that you will get some familiarity with the network concept in the AWS cloud. And moving forward, if you do this practice so that we can able to understand the private subnet and the public subnet concept, that is very, very important. Yesterday we have discussed regarding an application, right? So how you will create a two-tier architecture over the AWS cloud. So that is the basic thing we need to know first. How a three-tier architecture you will create over the cloud. This is an interview question. So those things we are going to create in coming classes. So you'll get these diagrams also. Just please check at the classroom. So yeah, moving forward, deletion process. First, you need to delete EC2 instance. Once it is deleted, there will be a network interface that is also removed. Once it is removed, network interface is the one that is getting connected with your VPC and also that is getting connected with your edge instance. So that once it is removed, your VPC automatically can be deleted. It is still in shutting down mode. Let it be terminated completely. Terminated. So let me go to VPC section. Your VPCs. Select your one, not default one. Go here, actions, delete VPC. See, now you can give delete. So that's it. It got deleted. Okay. What we covered today. So we have covered learning about the VPC and what is the use case, and also creating VPC and deploying one EC2 server inside the VPC. Okay. Moving forward, we will be learning more about the network, that creating the public subnet, private subnet, web servers, private servers, and databases. So that is important. Generally, that is your infrastructure. Actually, to be a say, so that is your infrastructure. Any project you take, without these resources, none of the project will be not complete. Okay, we need to know mandatory. Any questions? If no questions, okay, so